paying close attention to the headlines around China, including government messages on economic stimulus and the volatile market conditions that have resulted. Also, some moves, provocative moves about Taiwan. Yesterday, the country conducted large-scale drills around Taiwan, and what it claimed was a warning to what it called independent forces on the island. Join us now on all this, Kyle Bass, Hayman Capital Management, founder and chief investment officer. We can talk about China, but a reference we might ask you about Israel. What do you make of what Israel is doing right now? Does the election have bearing on it? Are you surprised that there's been no retaliation yet, Kyle?
You know, I think that we have to turn the table just a little bit, Joe. I think that when you look at the kind of cadre of bad guys working together, you have the Ayatollah working with China and Russia. And if you notice, you know, you've got Russia being, again, increasingly provocative in the Ukraine. You have Israel and Iran at each other's throats. And now almost on cue, you see China's Xi move in with his third simulation exercise of the assault of Taiwan in the last, call it 2 years. So, you know, it is unfortunately hinging right around the U.S. election on November 5th. But, you know, today being October 15th, and you've got all of them working together, Joe, if you were on the other side and you were trying to open up potentially 3 fronts of militaristic action headed into a U.S. election, now is actually when you would do it. So I don't find the timing to be that surprising to anyone. I just think that Israel is going to act and defend itself as it should. Israel is going to move on, you know, maybe the energy targets, but certainly the nuclear targets across Iran now, because they absolutely have to. They're going to need the U.S.'s help on one specific target, and the rest of them, I think Israel can take on their own. The question is, you know, do they defer to the current administration and wait until after the election? I find the comments from the Israeli PM to be suspect.
Yeah. And I don't know whether it's sources or what that say that Netanyahu or Israel has agreed to just focus on military, not energy or nuclear facilities. So you doubt the veracity of that, or you just are you think it's suspect?
I mean, if you think about how this gets leaked to the press, it's someone in the Biden administration releasing what I believe to be their hopes. Right. If I were Netanyahu, would I tell the other side what I was going to limit my strikes to? I actually wouldn't. And so I don't know. I just don't know if what we're hearing is going to end up proving to be true.
And you think that Iran is still is it important what China and Russia are you know, intimating to Iran at this point, or do you think they would move ahead and go ahead and do that final step to being nuclear capable, or
I mean,
not?
Look, it's a complex situation. We all know that the Ayatollah for many years has said it's been haram to actually possess a nuclear weapon, and that's what the IAEA has kind of let's say hung their hat on. And the IAEA recently has said kind of all bets are off. We don't know if what they're doing in their nuclear program can be deemed to be peaceful anymore. And so you've seen the IAEA back away. You've seen Iran start to spin this up. And our own belief is that they can have a nuclear weapon in 6 months or less. And so the question is for Israel, given the direct attacks that Iran has made on Israel itself, Israel now, I think, is going to have to exercise its right to defend itself and eliminate the potential of an Iranian nuclear weapon. So I think when you see the planes landing from Russia on Iranian airways and the Iranians putting up the GPS jammers, the advanced GPS jammers that Russia's developed, you know, Joe, they're all working together. It's obvious that they're all working together. And I think it's important for our administration to start defining who our enemies are. We still don't outwardly say China is the enemy. During the Cold War, we all knew that Russia was the enemy. We all saw movies where there were Russian bad guys. We all knew what Russia was after, and we knew that we had to win the Cold War. And here we are in maybe a much larger Cold War, facing an adversary that is more capable than any adversary we've ever faced before. And yet we still don't have our leadership defining China as the enemy. We still have Wall Street investing in China, for heaven's sake. We're getting to the point where we could kick off, anything could set off more of a kinetic conflict. And here we are today on CNBC talking about, oh, well, is China going to stimulate, or are they going to, is it time to buy Chinese stocks? I think that's crazy.